Yes, folks, it's Cuban and Reap, and that is our seasons blowing up in our faces right now. It is your man back with SPNHL Talk tonight. It's Cuban, Mr. KOD, with his boy, getting over no respect. Reaper, what's going on, Reap?
What's going on, Cube?
I don't know. Depressed. Just depressed.
Yeah.
It's it's just one of those things. It's literally happened for the last 10 months. The game has done this to everyone, and it just continues to happen, and we keep coming back like, I don't know, like flies to shit. And then god damn it, EA Sports, fix the game.
Right?
Well, talk me off the sledge, buddy. Yeah, that ain't helping me none either.
You can throw 17 in the garbage.
Oh, delete that thing off the hard drive.
Delete.
So, I'm out. I know you're out.
Yes, sir.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, Colorado's out. And Detroit's out. So who are we left with, Reap?
I believe we're left with the Jets.
Winnipeg.
Calgary.
Yes.
Carolina. And who else we got? Who's the other one? I can't think of it.
I don't want to say their name. I might throw up all over myself.
Florida.
No, not Florida.
No?
Florida.
No,
no, cocksucker.
Who the fuck's in it?
Montreal, you
yeah, hey. I think if a team to beat Carolina, that would be the team.
No, the Carolina's going to walk them. I can guarantee that right now. Carolina's going to walk them.
Possibly.
No, definitely. Carolina's going to walk them. It's gonna be Carolina. But let's do a quick little recap. Carolina, Detroit. Detroit put up a little fight, and then Skinner came back and they whooped their butts.
You mean
Well, Skinner? We'll talk about it. We'll talk. Okay. Stop.
Okay.
Stop. Yeah, Skinner comes back, even though it was Game 5. But the scoring went from 5s and 4s to 10-2, so the effect was in full effect of his great presence on ice as they handled Detroit in 5. And the other series, Florida, Montreal, blowout, overtime game, close game, overtime game. Florida gets butt whooped. Game 6, 4-1. Needless to say, hats off to Montreal. Great series. It was literally could have gone either way in any of the games besides the first 2, which they were both pretty handedly decided. So, best of luck to Montreal versus Carolina. We'll talk a little bit more about that. And then on the other side, Calgary and Colorado. What do you think about that one, Reap?
I think Calgary's going to win that one.
Well, no, they already won it. Calgary already beat Colorado.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about something else. My bad.
No. Yeah, it's all good, brother. Colorado, Calgary.
From what I've heard and from what I saw a little bit of it, they did put up somewhat of a good fight against them.
They really did.
They just
night one, they put it on them.
Yeah, but I guess they just couldn't finish. They came back and.
I seen the scores for night 2, and it was like I watch boxing a little bit, and everyone's got a plan until they get hit in the mouth. And Calgary got hit in the mouth and started spitting fireballs back at Colorado and melted that Avalanche. It was like 6-0, 7-0, and it was like another blowout score in Game 3 from the next night. So they pretty much said no. We're gonna let you guys know what's going on.
Right.
And then the following series, Winnipeg and Chicago, where I felt the winner of that series was going to go into the next series and pretty much win that. And what happened, Reed?
With what? You cut out
How the series?
Dude?
I wanted to know what went on in the series. I mean, you played in it. What?
Oh, against the Jets.
Yeah, against the Jets, buddy.
Everybody wanted to win. Obviously, we went in having fun, dude. I mean, it's whatever. They played a good game. I mean, before I used to talk about Montoni when he played with Carolina, having that stacked team, barely facing any shots and everything else. That's why I was kind of like, I think any goalie could do that at that type of fucking, with that type of team and sitting in front of them. But honestly, with him and Breezy and Ajax back there, Montoni stole games. Like he was unbelievable.
Right.
I really got to see him, in those games and some of the saves that he was pulling out. We were all like, what the fuck is going on? Like, for sure we thought were goals. All of a sudden they weren't goals. We were like, holy, like it was just, no matter what we tried to do against him, he was just right there at the right times. Like, I mean, we did get a couple, not very many, but we had our opportunities and we just could not get them. We'd hit either bars or he would reach behind with a big save. But he also had help with Breezy. I mean, Breezy's a very solid defenseman. Ajax complements Breezy. They both play well together. Their forwards were decent, but I mean, when you got a shutdown D pairing with a shutdown goalie, I mean, you're going to get those goals because the other team can't do nothing.
Right.
But it was all right. I mean, the first game, like I threw Ush in nets. I gave Ush the chance because, I mean, he went 6-0 in nets and he proved himself, and he's a good player, man. I like Ush a lot. A lot of people don't give him enough credit. He's a very reliable guy. He's a team guy, and, he doesn't bitch. He doesn't complain. He just shows up, and he does what he's got to do. So I said, you know what? I'm going to throw you in all 3 games. I mean, he's not technically a goalie. I sat Bruiser out that night just because I wanted to give Ush that chance because he didn't say nothing all season. He played it. I didn't play him very many games. I played him his 3 games or whatever, or whenever I needed a fill in. And I figured, you know what, he's been a good guy. He's a buddy of mine. He's been not bitching once about anything. So I said, you know what, I'm just going to keep him in and just roll with it. And he had some good games, but then he had some good goals scored on him as well. But he also had some EA goals scored on him. The typical EA, some of those EA goals that went in. But yeah, and then so I throw Bruiser in the last game. He played really well, and we ended up, losing. We got swept. But it is what it is. We were just having fun, man. I mean, we're more excited for 18.
Oh, we all are, dude. Oh, all hell. Like people have their opinions about that Beta brother, but I loved it. I'm excited for it, and I can't wait.
I think in the last game we put up more a better fight. I mean, game 2 we went to OT. We had lots of opportunities to bury it. We had a wide open net, and Tread took a one-timer right at the goalie instead of hitting the open net, which kind of sucked. But I mean, it happens. But my team played well, man, all season. I can't complain about it anyway. We came out, we played, we lost the game ourselves. We can't blame anybody else. We can't blame, the Jets, they're a good team, but we're just as good, and we didn't bring it. We didn't bring our normal game that we normally play. Just what it came down to.
Hey, man, hats off to you and your squad for the season that you had, buddy. And then, it's just unlucky. And
yeah,
dude, like I've told you, like don't sleep on Montoni, man. Like I've seen this guy play.
Well, and that's the thing. That's why I'm giving him his. I sent him a message saying, all due respect, man. I give you lots. I get you earn my respect because, like I said, when he was on Carolina, he was only averaging 7-8 shots a game.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I couldn't give him a Vezina winning type goalie. Like, I mean, buddy, you're only facing fucking 7-8 shots a game. But in that game, we were firing everything on. We were shooting from the point. We were shooting from the sides. We were coming in. We were rebounds. He was just there.
Right.
And even Kid was like, when we thought we had a goal, it wouldn't be a goal. And Kid looks at me, says to me, he's like, "Holy fuck, man!" He's like, "What do we got to do to score on this guy?" I'm like, "I don't know, man. Just keep firing the puck."
Yeah.
I think it would have been a better series, honestly, if I could have had Enable playing. So because when I did have Enable playing, we really, we fought hard against them.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a lot closer with having Enable and Smash back there. But I mean, everybody played all right, man. I mean, I didn't play my greatest. But whatever, it is what it is. And like I said, we're more looking forward to 18, man. Especially with certain teams that are running this season. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we're just waiting for next season, and then we're gonna build from there and have fun. You know, same thing. But the Jets brought it, man. They were the better team, and I got to give that to them. I can't take that away from them.
Yeah, man. Like I was quite surprised with the result of the series. I thought it'd be like a 6-game series or a 7-game series. I didn't expect it to be, a 4-game series. I didn't expect some of the scores. But then from talking to you, like you said, like Montoni was standing on his head, and when a goalie plays like that in the playoffs, the chances are like you're losing. Like, and that's a confidence booster for you. You know what I mean? Like when you go on those playoff runs, if your goalie's back there standing on his head, making like guys step the hell up and just start feeling confident about doing a little more riskier stuff, and then scores get a little out of hand because now you play a little loose.
Well, yeah, and everybody tries to do a lot more than what they should. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they just don't play their game, and we got off our game, and that was the biggest thing. I mean,
right.
I'm not mad at my team, man. They played all right. I mean, I'm happy with the guys I had. It's just things didn't work out for us.
Hey, on our side, playing with Florida, and I was only with those guys for like 9 games, and attitudes and conversations and just the talk in the chat during the series, like even when we were down, guys were just chatting it up like, hey man, like let's go, like don't worry about it, like we got this. Yeah. Come back. And it's surprising because when you join a new team and you're the new guy, you don't know what chemistry is like, but to have those guys, it was awesome playing with them all. Cosmo built himself a nice little squad there.
Yeah, and that's the same thing with my team, man. Nobody got down. Everybody was still in good moods, and nobody was fighting with each other. Now. So, I mean, I got to give it to them for that.
So, those where we're at now. We're staring at Carolina. We'll do little Carolina. We'll start with Carolina because going into this, there was the Skinner issue. And that's what we're getting into tonight. Skinner, aka J Claus, regardless of the fact, who knows, but J Claus from another league, very talented player, joined SP due to being banned from the other league, and signed up as Skinner and played 2 seasons as Skinner. So Reaper just
would this be his 3rd season?
Well, just carry on a little bit. I'll be right back.
You're gonna be right back.
Yeah, like just talk more about the Skinner and your opinion on it, and I'll jump right back because I'm getting summoned by my little ones. So mid show.
My opinion on the whole situation. I mean, I don't know. It's really hard to say what my opinion is because every opinion is different. There's a lot of controversy saying, well, Niner had no idea, or sorry, Sedin Power had no idea who he was. For a guy, to be a top player in a different league, to join a league under a rookie name and the GM not know who this person is, kind of tells me that's kind of bullshit in my eyes. Obviously, he knows because they play Niner plays LG. He knows players in those leagues, and to have a rookie sign up under a different name and then to play the card that, well, I didn't know, that kind of throws me off a little bit too. I think it's bullshit. I think he did know, but he's playing the dumb card, and we all know that Sedin ain't dumb and he knows what he's doing. The 4-game suspension, I don't really agree with. I think it should have been more. But then there's also, he did come into the league. This is not his rookie season, so he can't really be suspended, I guess, for more than 4 games. But I mean, they're in the rules. You can get suspended for 4 games. But there's another set of rules saying, well, then you can get banned for changing your name and coming into a different league and getting caught for it.
Well, so, I don't read that rule as in...
No, but it is in the rules stating that if you are caught, if you did switch your name, and because when you sign up to this league, bro, it says username and other username in other leagues. And he didn't fill that out, and every season he didn't fill that out. So right there, it's kind of like, well, what the hell? Why isn't he filling this out? And then he gets caught, and then they play we weren't trying to hide who it was. You know, it's a lot of I don't know, like come on, man, like seriously, you know, that's cool.
I interpreted that rule when I read it as in guys who already have signed up in prior SP seasons have played and gained recognition as player A and has a salary of X, and then switch their name to player B to get a lower salary so they can play with their buddies still, or someone else can draft them and they all know that it's player A that they're drafting as player B. Granted, his name and his stats carried from another league and his reputation as that player, but he never played in SP. And I don't even know how many guys would have known exactly who that was if he would have signed up like that.
I think a lot of people would have known who J Claus was because a lot of people do play in LG.
I didn't know who it was.
I knew who he was, and I only played 2 seasons in LG.
So for me, I wouldn't know how to have taken him or whatever, but I do know that the 4-game suspension, in my opinion, based on what I've seen in the rules and how I conversated with Cosmo about it, fit in my idea what the rule was stated for is like, hiding his name. I took it as a player that has played in this league, and it's very like the rule just states, say from another league. It doesn't necessarily say from registered in SP. It just says hiding his name. That's up to interpretation of, the situation at hand. So,
right.
I mean, maybe
obviously
to get a little
did,
cleared.
Yeah, like obviously he did hide his name. And it's just, and see, and that's another thing. It's fine. You know what? You hid your name, but then as a GM to turn around and play dumb about it, saying you had no idea. I mean, you play in other leagues, you know who these guys are, and all of a sudden this guy's joining up in your league and you're on his friends list, and all of a sudden he's on a different name. I mean, and then you play the dumb card, like, well, I didn't know who he was.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like, dude, really? Seriously? But then in one breath he says, I didn't know who he was, but then another breath he's saying, yeah, it's J Claus. We didn't try to hide it. Like, seriously? First you're telling everybody that you didn't know, and then in another breath, you're saying, well, we didn't try to hide it. So which one is it? Did you not try to hide it, or you didn't know? I don't know. It is what it is, man. Niner says he didn't know. Obviously, I think it's, he just, whatever. It is what it is. Play the stupid card. We all know Niner's not dumb.
Right.
We all know he knows how to get these so-called rookies to come into the league and who are top players, so he can have a stacked team each season. So I mean, it's not the first time, it's not the second time, and now it's the third time. So I mean, it doesn't change anything.
What other players do you feel are hiding under different names?
I don't know if they're hiding under different names. There's a lot of speculation that Niners playing this season. There's also been said that people have been in chat rooms with them and they're all laughing about it because Niner is still playing. You know what I mean? Like, there isn't proof because there's no, pictures of it. But I'm not going to name these players that are in SP that are friends with these guys. But they've been in party rooms with them, and Niner has been playing from what when that person was in the chat room and what they have heard. You know what I mean? So it's just like I don't know. If you got to do that on a video game, especially in a league hockey video game, I mean, that's on you. Do what you got to do. Like I said, man, there's so many different things that people think it is what it is, and a lot of people think it's bullshit, and a lot of people are like, "Fuck this league, I'm not coming back," because there's no place, there's no point to fight for second place when he's gonna have a stacked team every season with a bunch of rookies. So it's what can you say?
Right.
There's nothing you can really say or do.
I mean, the one thing that another league has done is having guys go onto their profiles, entering in a code, and then them checking and verifying the account as a PlayStation Plus account being a main account, because you can share your PlayStation Plus and you won't have the little gold plus star up there, and if you don't have that gold plus star, then you gotta you can't register. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a verified account and you can't use it.
Yeah, and I mean, I've talked to, a lot of people have come in. Like, it's funny because as soon as the word got out, I'd be playing with Kid and Barnacle or Smash, and guys would join my room. Like, even some rookies, they're like, "Oh man, how the hell did you find out it was this guy?" I'm like, "Oh, I found out through other guys and blah blah blah." And they're like, "Oh man, that's fucked up," blah blah blah. And they're like, "Well, that," and then they bring up, we'd have a good conversation about the whole goalie man situation. And I brought this up to Plisk. I said, "Okay, so let me ask you something, Plisk." I said, goalie man tried to do the same thing, where he signed up an account. No, just hear me out. I'm not saying he did the same thing, but people look at it as kind of the same. So
I stopped.
Goalie man signs up a second account. I guess he's been caught for this before, from what I've heard. I don't know if it's true, but supposedly he's done it before. But anyways, he signed up a username for a guy to come into the league that's a top forward to play under that name. Okay, fine. You got caught for it, whatever. But then, even though it's not the same, but in a way it technically is, because here gets Niner to get J-Claus to sign up under a different name to come play on his team as a rookie. You know what I mean? It's not the same thing, but in a way it's kind of is the same thing, because goalie man got caught for trying to do it, where Niner got somebody to do it, but they were still playing. You know what I mean? And then he finally gets caught for it. But then it's the name game, and it's I didn't know who he was, and then all of a sudden, we weren't trying to hide him. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's just a lot of people's feelings on it. That, in a way, it was kind of in the same similar aspect of the whole goalie man and goalie man situation.
Well, wasn't goalie man with the other player account really a banned player trying to get in, right?
Okay, and I get that, and you know what? I totally understand that. Okay, and I get that. He's been banned from this league, and he's been banned from lots of other leagues. But then this guy turns around, rats him out, so he can get back into our league. So how does that tell somebody that this person's changed if he just turns around and rats out his supposed friend, and it's been banned from a league from the bullshit he's pulled before?
Right. But
you know what I mean? Why are you going to turn around and allow somebody back into a league after ratting somebody out? But yet, it was an eye for an eye. That's the only reason he was ratted out. It's because he got banned because he got caught from goalie man, and goalie man fucking shined him, ratted him out.
Right.
And to me, that was just a payback. That was just an eye for an eye. I don't agree with that person being back. That's just my own personal issues and things I've gone through with the guy. But like I said to Pliskin, you know what, Plis, this is your league. If you want to let somebody back in, cool. That's on you. So at the end of the day, I'm just here to play, have fun, build teams, and bitch here and there when I can.
Oh, you get your bitching in, buddy. Believe me.
Somebody's got to.
That's
I'm not
right.
gonna sit around and kiss ass like a lot of these people do. So I ain't down for that kind of stuff.
You do kiss ass, but she's sitting right behind you.
Yeah, well, she also does things for me, so I'm okay with that.
I bet you are, buddy.
Anyways, but that's my whole thought on that whole bullshit.
Yeah, listen, and there's no really, seriously, it's
another thing, man. But also another thing that really pisses me off is that, Niner builds good teams. I'll give him that. He knows how to get certain guys to sign up under, as rookies, and he gets solid teams. I'll give him that. Right on. Good for you. But it's just the other stuff that has gone on too, with the whole Putin situation in San Jose. And then there's the whole whole situation with Waugh.
Not just that situation, but players do that all the time on other teams with different GMs just to go play for another GM. And some GMs don't care and hold the guy and tell him to suck it up. And other guys don't want to deal with it and do what they want for get the player to go to the team that they want. So this way, those trades always go through, man. It's just not, but it happens all the time across the board, not just that one single situation, but across the board. It happens all the time. And it's really on the discretion of the GM of the two GMs. Like, honestly, like the one GM knows he's getting a guy that wants to come play for him. And of course, anybody who can get a guy who wants to come play for him is going to do whatever he can to get him if he knows it's going to take his team to the next level, even though that dude's being a dick over there. And he's already said he's not going to be a dick for you. So it happens, man. It happens. It sucks. I feel bad for the other GM who gets this guy in a trade or picks this guy up off of free agency, thinking he's got himself a solid player that he can start building his team around, and the guy just flat out turns into a turd for him because he doesn't want to play for him. And that's every single league, bro. That's every single league.
No, I know.
Not just this.
These GMs got to grow some balls and fucking.
Yeah, but it's tough, man. Like it's tough. It's really tough. And for the new guys, it's even tougher because they don't know nobody. And even if they do know a few guys, they never get to play with them because their salaries are either too high or they're already on teams that will never, ever trade them. Yeah. So, but that stuff happens. Like it's just not just that one single situation. So that's where we're at with that stuff, buddy. Let's move into round 2. And the matchups we have in the West. I want to go West Coast first. Let's go West Coast first. Calgary versus Winnipeg. The Sea Red over there in Calgary with True Legend and Red Flag versus Montoni and the Magnificent Breezy and Ajax with Seeds and that squad he has over there. How do you see this playing out, Reap? I mean, you've obviously seen Winnipeg firsthand. You've seen Calgary. I
think it'll go 6. I think it's going to be a tight series, but I think it's going to go 6 games.
I think it's going to go 5. I'm telling you now.
Who are you in favor for?
Winnipeg.
You think so?
The better goalie play and the better D pairing. I always grade that way because of just experience. You get a goalie playing the way you said it, like Montoni was standing on his head. If he continues that into round 2, which I 100% think he will, and then Breezy and Ajax have been dominant. That to me is the Achilles heel to the Calgary team, is that they can get scored on. Calgary was up 2-1 on them. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then they turned it on the next 4 games, but still, like, they should have walked that squad, and they didn't. And that team literally had a chance to make that a series. Even that 3rd game, they could have been up 3-0 almost.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
And it's their Achilles. It's literally their Achilles. And with the way Winnipeg's built, it's going to be tough for Red and True if they got to sit back defensively to keep pucks out of the net, and they can't go rushing up the ice because of what the lack of play back there. So I'm going Winnipeg in 5.
I'm going to go Winnipeg in 6. 6. I'll stick with 6.
All right. Over on the other side, we got Carolina, Montreal. What are you thinking on that one?
I hope it turns out to be a good series. That's what I'm hoping. With the way his teams, and I'm not just saying it just because of the whole stacked team situation, but I honestly think Carolina will take it just because of the team they have.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I'd love to see Montreal take them out.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I guess we'll see. But I could see it 5 games, 5 for Carolina. I hope it ends up being a better series, and I hope Montreal, brings it and has a chance to take them out. But at the end of the day, just with the team that Niners put together with those guys, I think it's going to be Carolina.
All I can say is that in the series that we played against them, some of the stuff, it was just unreal. And if that stuff continues to go Montreal's way, if the goalie play continues to be what it was, that's going to be a series. But their offense is literally tailored around 2 guys. And if you contain those 2 guys and get on the scoreboard before them, you're going to win. And I feel like Carolina will be up early and, force them to get away from a lot of the stuff they like to do. So I think it's going to be Carolina in 5. I don't see a sweep. But I definitely see Carolina winning this. And I don't know. I don't think the games will be as close. I think there'll be 2-goal games, 3-goal games coming down the stretch. And we're going to be staring at Winnipeg versus Carolina. And that's going to be a great series to talk about next week.
Yeah, I think so too.
So that's pretty much it. You got anything else for the good of the order here, buddy? As we are closing out the final season of NHL 17 here in the SPNHL. What do you got for me, Reed?
Nothing.
Yeah, bro. I'm ready.
I'm just ready for 18, bro.
Me too, bro.
18's built for speed, and that's what I like. That's the type of team that I run with. It is speed.
For me as a defenseman, I love just having the ability to dictate a player. Literally, he's putting out the skill stick, poking in a direction of where the stick is, and then also just leaving it out there to deter some of the crazy passes that get through. And it's just nice. It's nice to be able to stay in position and not have to go chase a guy because if you stand there, he's going to walk you because you can't poke him. Can't bump him off the stick.
Well, and that's the thing. Like when a kid and I, we played a lot of the beta together just to fucking feel it out or whatever. And NHL 16 when we won the cup, like when I had a good team, we were always making the playoffs every season. And when we made that run for the cup or whatever, that game we found that it was built for speed. It was all about speed. And then 17 comes out and they base that more on defensive play. More of a slower, they slowed down. Like I didn't find the forwards as fast, and the defense would catch up to you from mid ice if you're on a freaking breakaway, and it was just ridiculous. It's still like that in 18. 18's actually better for the offense for the forwards. You could actually, when you get that break, you're going. The defense won't catch up to you within a second, like it does in 18 or in 17. So I think that's what we're looking forward to because we find that 18 has a lot of 16, but it also has a lot of 17 too. But we find that the speed and the forward is a completely different game. It's a lot like 16 when we made that run. So we're looking forward to it for sure. Well, good. I'm glad. I can't wait. 18. Bring it. You getting re-signed by Florida or what? I'm hoping to get signed up as a GM. You're trying to come back as a GM? I already put the test in. I'm just waiting to find out if I passed. If you passed? Yeah, man. That test is hard. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. I think Pliskin's choosing, though, now. From now on, there's no more voting. Regardless, I took the test. So we also got to find out, too, because I remember all the GMs and a bunch of us had mentioned to Pliskin that for the awards that it should be Pliskin and Mrs. Reap deciding on everything because it always ends up being a shit show and everybody starts thinking, a lot of the words is bull. So I'm hoping that'll be the case this season. I think it should come down to Pliskin, Miss Reap. I don't know. I mean, I don't have anything bad to say about it. I always thought it was good to have an open forum, but at the end of the day, I mean, it's usually guys arguing for guys that really shouldn't even be part of the conversation half the time. So. No, and then also guys getting it over guys that should have clearly had it. Again. Uber that season not winning Vezina. A whole other, that wasn't in that. I no comment. I wasn't there. Can't speak on things I was not there nor partake in the season. So, but anyways, we'll hook back up. We'll maybe do another Friday or next Saturday, depending on what the series are like, because they're doing Monday, Tuesday. It might be over by Tuesday, and we might hook up sometime during the week again to talk about finals or talk about, we're pretty much going to be talking about finals next weekend. So exactly. So we'll be talking about the finals next weekend. Everyone. Enjoy this weekend. Thanks for tuning in, everyone that's watched and everyone who's going to listen. God bless. And always be kind to each other on and off the ice.
Virtual hockey players' lives matter.
Peace.